Howdy folks, and welcome to another Taste of Gameplay video, this time for the Japanese Tier 5 Tech Tree Cruiser, the Furutaka, or as Jingles calls it, the Furious Taco. As always, these videos are designed to give you a sample of the gameplay of the ship, not to be an exhaustive analysis. I recommend the Wargaming Wiki or other content creators. This is going to be an incredibly short game, and I don't know how much you're going to learn about the Furutaka, but I kept it because I think this is actually pretty common experience at tier 5 these days. There's a bunch of bots, and actually it does show what I think of as probably realistically the most important aspect of the Furutaka, the way that you're going to wind up usually using it these days, which is deleting people with these guns. So I watched a video by Trendlass about the Furutaka, and he comments a lot on the armor and talks about how it's one of the few tier 5 cruisers that can shrug off battleship shells on the side. And he's right. Of course, it's got 25 millimeters of plating, which is great. However, in a world where there's a lot of bots, that is not what I think of as the most interesting part of the Furutaka. For me, the best part about the Furutaka is these guns. And I think you're about to see it right here. Maybe it's not this salvo. Yeah, my aim's a little off. Okay, not that salvo. But the Furutaka gets 6 203s. They have great pen. They're just right for citadeling cruisers and sometimes even doing massive damage to battleships. And the dispersion is amazing. Playing the Furutaka is the closest thing I found to my experience with the Kotori and the Yubari, which have that special dispersion accuracy buff. But except it has AP instead of HE. And as a result, it's just a lot of fun because you occasionally get to just completely like dev strike people. I think it's one of these next two salvos, I'm pretty sure, against this La Argentina. Yeah, okay. It's that one. 3 citadels out of 6 shells. I mean, like, what else do you want, right? So to me, that's the most important thing about the Furutaka. 2 more citadels. Yes, it has torpedoes. They're fine. They're pretty good. It has hydro. It's got a fighter. It's even got submarine surveillance. It's got a pretty good amount of hit points for its tier. What are the downsides? Well, in a weird way, the armor is actually also a downside because if you do get hit on the side, then you're not going to be able to deploy the overpen tech. You're just going to get deleted. The guns do have a pretty slow reload. Even if you spec them all the way out, I think it's like 15 seconds. You know, the maneuverability is all right. I don't find it that bad, especially by tier 5 cruiser standards. But obviously, the guns are not as good as like the Omaha just because they don't reload fast enough. You know, if you get a couple bad shots, then you've got 30 seconds of dead air. If somebody's maneuvering, you're not going to have as much luck. But again, against bots, I mean, it's vicious. It's a vicious killer. As you saw in that La Argentina. I guess that is the other downside, which is the AP is so high caliber that actually against some cruisers you're also going to have the problem where you're just going to overpen them. But there's no perfect caliber at this tier because if you're high enough to citadel people, then you're also high enough to get overpens. But yeah, I mean, I like the Furutaka. I think it's pretty fun. Definitely worth picking up. It's not a ship I play a lot. It's typically when I play tier 5, I either play a battleship or I play like the Fujin. It's certainly not as good as those ships, but yeah, I mean, as tier 5 cruisers go, this is better than a lot of them, which is why, you know, you'll still see a pretty good number of Furutakas in the game. What is that? Yeah, I'm up to 6 citadels. I mean, you know, it kind of reminds me of the Pensacola. It has that kind of Pensacola feel, right? Where you sort of, I mean, the range is pretty good. Not amazing, but I mean, actually, you know, pretty good. And because the dispersion is so good, you can actually use a lot of that range. The Pensacola dispersion it feels not as good. but I think you get more shells. I'd have to look again. But yeah, I'm just overpenning this guy because I'm too close. It's funny though because he's angled. So anyway, I know that was a quick one. You didn't really get to see the armor or the ship take damage, which is a bummer. But you know, these are just kind of one take videos to give you a kind of overview of the ship. And again, I think it's definitely worth playing. You'll really enjoy the guns, AP into cruisers, and the HE into destroyers, again, because the dispersion is so good. So that's going to be it for this one, because there's no more game. I will see you in the next video.